Greetings, YouTube family. Thank you for being here. I'm happy to be sharing a few of the things I've been learning since I started living off-grid. My name is Deja, and I hope you find serenity.
I hope you find serenity. I hope you find serenity.
I have to acknowledge that it has officially been 6 months since I moved to the farm. I came here, April 30th, 2022, and now it's October 20th. It's October 19th in this moment that I'm filming this video. But yeah, so it's been 6 months since I've been living and existing rent-free on my property here in Costa Rica. It's so surreal. I recently was recognizing that some manifestations that seem like maybe they took a long time actually were quite quick. I was thinking about the farm, for example. I spent about a year looking at properties and deciding, aligning with this one, and it felt like, oh, this is taking so long. But now when I look back to, say, 3 years ago, I didn't even know that I wanted this farm. So to see that within 3 years I can manifest something of this, like, I don't know the word I'm looking for. Like, the word gratitude is coming to my mind, but that is not the word. Of this magnitude, that's the word. To have manifested something of this magnitude within 3 years that was unseen before, it's like blowing my mind. I can't believe that this is what has unfolded for my life. I'm so grateful. I'm so blessed. And I have learned a lot. It has not been easy, but it has been beautiful. And I want to share some of the things I've been learning because I've been taking in some juicy downloads and they need to be shared. So I have a list. How many things is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, it's going to be 5 things that I've been learning since I started living off-grid. And this term off-grid, so that you know what I mean, that means I'm not plugged in to the grid like the electric or Wi-Fi or even the water system. I'm fully just on a raw piece of land. Everything that's here has come through me. Nothing has come through any government assistance. And yeah, I think I've mentioned this in past videos, but I'm open to getting electricity because electricity in Costa Rica is widely green energy, meaning they use solar and wind and even hydropower to power the main grid. So I support it. I think I will get electricity. It's super cheap here because it's sustainable. Most people I know spend like $5 to $10 a month on electricity. So one day in the future, I'm open to being on the grid here on my property. I just am not as of now. There's not even any light posts on my road. It's completely pitch black at night. So that's what I mean when I say off-grid. So number 1, okay, there's a puppy. Come on, come say hey. Come here. So they know who's doing all this noise. Angel, meet YouTube. First thing that I've been learning is that it's possible to live without electricity. This is something that, I totally take for granted or took for granted before. I was just plugging things in, and when the power went out, I'd be like, oh my God, how could we live like this? And I just couldn't truly fathom what it is to live without power. But it's actually super chill. I have light all day, as you can see. I don't need a light to turn on because everything's open. And at night, I just light some candles. And that has been really, for me, that's really nice and aesthetic. And even when I lived with electricity, I like to do candles at night because I don't really like artificial light. So yeah, and also not having those things, that's less things to take care of. I don't have any wire stuff going on. I don't have to go get light bulbs. So in many ways, it makes my life a lot more simple. And a part of not having electricity means I don't have a refrigerator. Now, this is something that I always thought that I would need, but actually I have some friends who do have electricity but don't have a fridge, and they showed me oh wow, a lot of things actually can last outside of the fridge. And it teaches us to really be in the moment with our cooking for sure, because I can save food for the night and then eat it the following day, but I can't save food for more than a day. So Everything has to be fresh. Angel, leave Mantra alone. She wants to be friends with my cat and he's not having it. So yeah, I have to keep everything super fresh. And also with my fresh produce, I realized like, oh, like bananas and apples and oranges and these things, they don't actually need to be in the refrigerator. They can survive outside of it. And also, I mean, I live on in a mountain, so there's like a cool breeze. So at night it gets pretty cold and everything gets a nice chill. So I'm just also learning like how long everything really lasts. And for me, that's great because like I said, the freshness. So I'm not holding on to fruit long term. I'm only eating it when it's pretty fresh off of the tree, which just feels aligned for me. And I don't have anything frozen. I was already anti-frozen foods and stuff because I'm like, where did this come from? When was it made? How old is it? You know, that's kind of weird to me. So with this, like, everything has to be, you know, like I have to go grocery shopping at least once a week. So yeah, it's possible to live without a refrigerator. I still eat good. I always have fruit and veggies and different things. And I understand now like how long things last and different ways to preserve them, like putting my herbs in a cup of water. And even my cauliflower and broccoli, I put them each in like a bowl of water. And they last a lot longer that way. Number two. Speaking of water, the next thing that I wrote about what I've been learning is where water comes from. I have lived my whole life, 26 years, without knowing where my water was coming from. I was just opening up sinks and I wasn't drinking sink water, actually. We would do filtered water or water bottles back in the day. But yeah, like I was just turning on the shower and showering and not having any idea where this water is coming from. And now that I've been living so in tune with nature and so deep surrounded by nature, I'm like, where are they getting all that water from? It must be coming from somewhere. And then I think about the consumption. Since I've been living without water, I just got a water tank. And if you want to know more about how I ended up getting water and I have a bathroom and all that, I share all my behind the scenes vlogs on my Patreon. But yeah, before I had the water tank and the water system, I was just collecting rainwater. So when it didn't rain for a while and I was using the water, and I was collecting it for bathing and for cleaning. For drinking water, I was getting well water from a neighbor. So with the rainwater, sometimes it didn't rain for a couple of days back when it was more in dry season. So I would slowly be running out of water and I would have to wait again. So also when I would use water, I'd be really mindful of how much am I consuming because I know I need to save some for later. But when you just have unlimited water, like there's really no thinking about how much you are consuming. And I will say, like, I do feel like our resources are abundant and infinite. So I don't have this idea of lack, like we're not lacking water, but it is great to just be mindful of how much are you consuming of this resource that is meant to be shared amongst all of us, especially when it comes to like clean water. Even now, you know, I fill my water tank and then that's how much water I have. And then I have to go down the hill to fill my water tank again. So I'm just so much more mindful of how much water am I consuming? Where is it coming from? I'm currently getting water from my river. So, you know, when I was deciding to do that, I was talking to the guy about the river. I was like, okay, is this going to take the water away from the river? Is it going to make the river lower? And he was like, no, because it's always running. It's infinitely flowing. And I'm also only one person that's consuming it. But if there were, say, 50 people with water tanks right here, all coming from this same river, then it would get to a point where it was starting to affect the ecosystem. So this is what I mean by like, where is the water coming from? We need to go to where the water is abundant, or else we're just all like pulling. I don't know where they're getting their water from, but I assume they're all pulling from like places, and then they're consistently searching for new places. And then I think about how contaminated the water is in so many parts of the world, even in parts of Costa Rica. Luckily, I live in a really rural place, and I don't have a lot of neighbors. There's no more neighbors above me, so this river flows just through the mountain and straight to me without having any like weird chemicals put into it. And also me, I don't use anything that's not natural on my farm because everything that I use is going to get run off with the rain down into the river. And then that river is what I drink from and what all my neighbors drink from as well. So understanding where my water comes from has been one of my greatest lessons. I will never, ever, ever take water for granted again. And it's a living thing. So also, the next time I'm in the States or anywhere, I'm going to just pray over the waters because, yeah, they need that. And I find it difficult to get good water when I'm in the States. I feel like less hydrated for sure, because here we have access to a lot of clean water, not just from the rivers and wells, but also there's a lot of coconuts. So then we have the coconut water as well. So yeah, where is your water coming from? You need to know. You need to know. Sending love to the people in Flint. It's despicable. There's a lot to say there, but I'm going to move on to my next topic. Sending love to them and everyone else who just doesn't have access to clean drinking water because of the bullshit that's going on. Got to reclaim our right to clean water. All right. And that takes all of us being conscious of how we're treating the water and what we're consuming. Anyways, number 3 is I've been learning about how everything works together for a farm to run. For example, I don't have to worry about rodents because I have a cat. I have seen a mouse once, but Mantra saw the mouse too, and he handled it. I don't even got to handle stuff like that. So things like pests, cats can handle that. And also I believe like energetically cats like kind of do this clearing of the energy in the space. They bring a special something that I really resonate with. So having a cat in the space, it really is a part of the whole of what I'm creating. And I now have a dog, as I showed y'all. And I don't know if she's going to be helpful. The intention of having a dog is for protection. They're very alert. They let you know if there's anybody around. I live alone. I'm in a rural place. People do pass by. She's still a baby. She has not been barking at anybody. She's just so loving. But whether she ends up being a good guard dog or not, still just having her here with me, it's like more company. And also she cleans everything up. Like dogs, they lick the floor. She eats after me if I have too much food and different things. So like having pets, they have like different things that they offer to the space. Oh, Jesus. Be a fence all around me. Sorry, y'all. I just threw this on for this video. What was I about to say? Oh, I don't have this yet, but chickens are a really great thing that go together with the farm because they help with the soil. They eat bugs, and also they provide eggs. So eggs are something that you can consume or you can sell to others. And I'm really going to do some research because I want to have chickens, but I want to feel more prepared. And I'm only one person, so that is coming soon. But, I'm just understanding how on a farm, like the different animals with the humans and everything is just working together, including like the trees. I didn't cut any trees to come and live here. I specifically chose a place where I wouldn't have to take down the forest. So I want to preserve the forest. And all the trees around here already have things growing. So I have hundreds of monkeys coming through here. And that provides me with joy. That provides, my guests with something really beautiful and exotic to see hundreds of monkeys every single day passing through here. And it's because the trees are working with us by offering different things that the monkeys eat. I have all these trees behind me that I didn't even know there were this fruit called nanse. And everybody loves these nanses. I got squirrels, I got monkeys, I got toucans, I got parrots, I got macaws, I got everybody because the trees are giving them what they need and they're giving them their shelter. So, like this morning, I counted like 10 toucans in this tree right here next to me. So everything is working together to create this atmosphere. It's no one thing alone. And also community is really important. Neighbors stopping by, and because I live in a place where everybody grows food, neighbors can stop by and provide something. Maybe I have papaya and they've got lemons, and now we can do a trade. So everything works together when you're living sustainably and you're living in tune with nature to support a really high quality life. And I will say I need even more support. Like living alone is a challenge sometimes. I need a man in this house. And I have been manifesting my baby daddy, hubby situation. So y'all just stay tuned. I will definitely talk about it on YouTube when that happens. I was dreaming about that last night, so I already know it's close. But anyways, I understand also just how like the divine masculine and feminine can work together in the space, because I find myself really being good about keeping the space clean and also like understanding what projects need to happen, but I can't physically do a lot of the things, and I don't want to learn how to. I'm not one of those girls who's out here trying to build a house. That's not my skill. It's all love, but that is not my skill. I do a lot of physical work here for sure, and I don't like it. And I would love for someone else to be doing it so that I can do my other things and just flow with that energy. So yes, everybody works together to create a really fucking dope ass life that is super balanced. Okay, number 4. I've been learning how to do nothing. And I must say it's quite difficult. When you live where you don't have no service, there's no distractions. I can't sit here and be on Instagram. I've got to sit here and just be looking at these trees, these same trees every day. And it's very peaceful. And as much as people claim they want to be at peace, it is quite different from what we are used to. It's so different from our programming to just be quiet and just be with the self. You will start to really see yourself. So a lot of shadow work happens with, especially in this case, being alone in nature. Just being alone in nature will call on like you to really like understand yourself at a much deeper level. And that can be scary for some people who maybe haven't unpacked certain things. You know me, I'm an inner child worker. I do a lot of work around healing from my past. So for me, I enjoy that work that I end up doing here, but I still have to face myself sometimes. I find myself wanting distractions, so I always download movies and shows to watch on my computer, but still my computer dies. Maybe it's dead by 1 p.m., and I'm not going to charge it for another 2 days, so I really have to spend time with myself. And that leads to things like this. I have time to make videos, and I have time to journal, and I have time to read, and I have time to develop myself. So I'm seeing that doing nothing or having nothing to do really is what it is. Having nothing to do leaves it open for a lot of growth and reflection. And it's like returning to this bliss, this gentle bliss where I don't have anything to do. There's nothing to do besides be at peace. There's nothing to do besides rest, or nothing to do besides play. And I'm seeing that from this place of stillness, all creativity is born. I just be sitting here doing nothing, maybe meditating or just literally just looking. I just be sitting here right where I'm at right now, just looking outside. And then I have an idea for a song, or I have an idea for a video, or I have an idea for my podcast, or like so much of my creativity is able to flourish because I give myself this quiet stillness without distractions to just be and just breathe. And it's so good. It's starting to rain now. Yeah, there's a lot of just juicy alone time. Last one, number 5. So this is just like a download that I was getting as I was writing this, and it's like, it's connected to this place of complete stillness and the way that this life is so much kind of stripping everything and getting back to the basics of simple food, water, shelter. It's kind of like a returning and a remembering from the past. And I know that we are cyclical beings. So I feel like we are on this kind of endless spiral where we kind of remember to go back to doing nothing and living in tune with nature and not living with electricity or having all these luxuries that we have now developed, and then we develop those things eventually, and then they're stripped away again, and then we develop and then it's stripped away, and then we develop and then it's stripped away. And it feels like I'm in this place where I'm stripping everything away, and that's just the part of the cycle that we're in. Sorry, y'all. I ran out of storage in my phone and just had to delete hella videos, so I lost my train of thought. I'm going to come right back to it. Basically, we are cyclical beings. We're in this cycle of forgetting and remembering and stripping and developing and stripping and developing, and it's all perfect. So even people who are living nothing like me, who are living in like high-rise apartments in New York. I don't even know if high-rise is a thing, but I think I've heard that before. Like paying $5,000, $6,000 a month rent. You know, drinking sink water. I don't know. People who are just living completely different than me. I do feel like that's perfectly imbalanced. And even if that may be strange to hear, I'm kind of like, I feel like there's always going to be difference. And there's always going to be contrast. And there's always going to be people in different parts of the cycle. And I'm just on this part. You know, I'm on this part where I am, you know, natty hair, freeform, living on a farm, you know. Was just recently shitting in the woods, but I got a bathroom now. Like, you know, drinking from the river, you know, all these things, you know, I'm just in that part of the cycle. And wherever you are in the cycle is perfect. And you decide, you know, do you want to rip it all away? Do you want to strip it all down? Do you want to get down into the earth the way I am? Because that's all it took really was for me to make that choice and be like, I want to do that shit. And so that's what I'm doing. So that's something else that I'm learning is like, wow, if you want to do it, just do it because anything is possible. If you told 13-year-old Deja that she would be living like this, I think she'd probably be really scared. And yeah, she would be proud if she knew that, you know, this is where she was going, but she would certainly be scared. And she might even think it was crazy. Yeah, the thought of living without, you know, a bathroom or without electricity or Wi-Fi, running water, all these things. So yeah, we're quite resilient. I'm learning how to survive all over again. I'm learning what it really means to survive in nature rather than survive in society. And it's good. It's really helping me to reclaim my freedom, reclaim my sovereignty, my right to just live a quality and intentional, sustainable life.
I hope you find serenity.